What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. So if you remember, we picked up a barn find of a Big Red 250 ES a few weeks ago, and there's a couple things that I did not show you, so we'll go ahead and flash back to those clips right now. All right, Alexis has a bet with me. We're on a roll right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the carb and clean it, because I can tell it's a little bit choppy on the low end, so I bet the pilot jet's clogged. That being said, it's 10:30 right now. Here's the proof. She just said that it'd be 1 o'clock by the time I get this done. I'm gonna guess 11:30. Okay. 1 hour for a full carb clean.
All right.
Let's go. Time starts now.
Nice.
And with the power of AMSoil, metal protector and penetrant, God said. Something. Ew. Looks like baked bean juice.
Baked bean juice?
Uh-huh.
I just picture you in a bathtub of baked beans.
Dude, that's sexy. Might be rusted together, honestly. Hallelujah. So we pretty much went through the entire machine, did all the fluid changes, and I made a little list of all the things that were wrong with it and what I wanted to replace. And I was a little bummed out finding out that the factory muffler was just rotted out. Alexis and I were riding that night and her caboose was getting a little warm and there was hot air just blowing right out of the seat here. And sure enough, the factory exhaust is just rotted and there's a few welds that have split open. And even the underside of this is just completely rotted through. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just falling apart. Yeah, you could do a few things to temporarily fix it, but I didn't want to have to worry about it. I wanted to get something that will future-proof it. So I started out on the interwebs, searching my different options, and it is really hard to find parts for these things because they're, over 30 years old. There are only a couple name brand companies that still make an exhaust for this, and I believe one of them is universal. Like, it's not even just for the Big Red. Not only were they expensive, but it just wouldn't have that factory feel or sound. I had a DG exhaust on my 200 ES, and that thing was so loud that I hated to ride it. I'm a quiet exhaust guy. I don't like making a bunch of noise, especially where I ride at. It's just not something you want to be doing. So then I was trying to source a factory exhaust, which was just as hard. There was no good deals out there, and the ones that I did find looked clapped out as well. But I finally got led in the right direction, and we found an answer to the muffler issue. So I'm sure you already saw it in the title and the thumbnail, so we'll get right to it. Guys, we have the perfect option. Oh my gosh. This thing is beautiful. Alright, first and foremost, I gotta give a big shout out to Eric Hanzel for making this happen. He makes a bunch of custom aircraft parts, and he decided to take on the task of designing his own Big Red muffler. Now, it is completely stainless, so this thing will stand the test of time, and this is the closest that you will get to factory. He is the only one out there that offers something like this, and that is huge for the ATC community as a whole. Parts are getting harder to come by, and a good factory muffler doesn't really exist anymore unless you want to pay top dollar. So he's doing us a huge favor with offering something like this, and I'm super happy to show you and tell you all about it. But as you can see, it is nearly identical to the factory muffler. All of these welds are a work of art, and it really doesn't get any better than this. You can tell it was well thought out, perfectly executed. You could throw a coat of exhaust paint on there if you wanted, but I like the raw finish, so that's what we're gonna rock with. I am gonna pull this header pipe off real quick and get it cleaned up, but I'm sure you wanna hear what it sounds like, so let's not waste any time. Now while we're waiting on that to dry, as you saw, we had more boxes, so we're gonna get some more stuff done. Yes, that is a plastic gas tank. If you're wondering why, it's because the one on the Big Red is just so mint that I would hate to get a dent in it. And as is, it's worth a lot of money. So at some point, we're gonna throw that plastic tank on there. But we were missing an airbox lid completely, so we found that. And also, I had a little notch in the factory airbox that would allow dust and other debris and water in there, so I ended up getting another airbox as well. So we're gonna get these things cleaned up and throw them on the machine while the paint's drying. Happy to get rid of this thing. I've already cut myself on it once. And I could have just put a new lid on it, but there's a divot right there, and dirt and debris and different water can get in there, so I had to replace the box. I could have mended it with something, but I want this to be watertight. Hint, hint. That filter's doing a lot of good. And it's out. Looks like I'm gonna take the tank off as well because this boot isn't even connected. That's nice. Yeah, this lovely boot isn't even connected. Look at that. Yeah, for those of you that didn't know, this part of the frame here is the intake, and it goes all the way up to the head tube there, which makes it really easy to snorkel, but that thing was just packed full of crap from over the years. Since 1985. Definitely felt good to get some degreaser on there and somewhat clean some of this junk off of here. Pretty rough. I'm gonna rob this drain vent off of this one. Oh. Put the intake horn back on properly this time. New airbox going in. How them backup skills, these? Yeah, I could use some work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's like I've done that before.
Proud of you, man.
I told you semi-trucks are next, man.
Oh, he's got the waders on deck?
Just in case. Because now I know what it's like.
Hey, dude, I think we could snorkel this real quick.
Probably could.
You down?
It was pretty sketchy with the Harley and the 450 in here. There was no good place to put the Harley. I couldn't put the Harley in the center because I had to do both bikes, and I couldn't put the Harley. It happens. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, he's bitching about using free stuff.
Yeah, I know. Can you believe this guy? What a nerd.
Well, it didn't fall off, it looks like, so that's good to know.
Good old safety chains taking care of business.
Heck yeah, brother. Damn, we got insulated waders too. Right
Yeah,
on,
because I wear them salmon fishing.
Okay.
Last time I went salmon fishing, I caught nothing.
Nothing but a buzz. You got the quad lock on there too.
Yeah, I wanted to get those. I wanted to get those selfie filmings. camera shy, all right?
I believe it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I ain't scraping.
You gonna take care of business?
No.
Oh, walk it out, walk it out. Yeah, I have that tire pumped up pretty high too. Woo! Sheesh, look at this guy go. Who is he? Who is he? I'll get a couple good rips in instead of the scrape.
All right. Can you spit on it?
So do you want just this on, or is this all? I can't tell. This isn't all the way on, is it?
No.
Okay.
Look at the bottom there. Like, it needs to be butted up against it.
Oh, so the bottom's all the way up. This needs to come.
Yep. Getting a helping hand from Magic Fingers.
You got your hands full. I'm gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing. I am the manager of this YouTube, so.
There we go. That should
Probably loosen this up.
Boom, baby.
And now we're taking care of business.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Hasn't been open since '85. Yes, sir. I'm happy about that. All right, guys, about 4 solid coats later, it's time to treat this thing. And since I don't want to put it in my oven, use the old propane torch method. Because let's be honest, it's a frickin' 3-wheeler. Time for the tank to go back on. It looks like a 3-wheeler again. I decided to go ahead and do the plastic tank later. I want to enjoy this thing and how good it looks in its natural form. Man, this is the icing on the cake right here. Oh yes. I know a lot of you are probably just watching this to hear what it sounds like, so I'm eager myself. Let's fire this thing up. Needless to say, I am really happy with the way that this sounds. The header turned out great as well, and it definitely sounds close to factory. But I've had this thing for a few weeks now, and I've only got to ride it once, so let's switch over to the GoPro and go for a ride. Man, it has been too long since I've ridden this thing. I'm excited. I'll probably have a separate video on a full review, but I will give you my first impressions. This thing is so much fun. So obviously it is kind of hard to tell on camera, but you can hear me talking over the exhaust, so it is very much like factory. Maybe a click louder, but I love it. I couldn't be any happier, man. I have nothing but good things to say about it. There will be a link in the top of the description to his eBay page where he sells these. Super nice guy, offers an amazing product. It is priced well for what you're getting, a complete custom one-off stainless exhaust. That's a lot better quality than almost all of the other big name companies out there. But there'll be plenty of videos with the Big Reds, so look forward to it.